Okay, 30 seconds with the stream going. I need to fix one thing. Okay, there we go. I can't hear myself, but that's okay. So more importantly, I'm not getting the delayed echo in my ear. Correct the title since it's not coming up, or it's underway now with the stream. I think the last time I guess last night, the last time I did a stream, I thought I'd given plenty of time on the lead, but that's just not the way it worked out. Cut in like mid-sentence. So I gave a good 30 seconds according to the OBS studio, the clock at the bottom. Although I have to scoop the actually OBS screen up to be able to see the clock, because normally I'd have to drop it down so I can still see the desktop audio level and my microphone audio level. All the technical fun that you get to deal with when you stream online. I hope I'm not going to send myself into some echo chamber here. Okay, I managed to mute it. I'm testing it out to see if the stream is actually going. And it does appear to be going, so that's a good thing. I'd hoped to get to this a little earlier tonight, but work and real life and whatnot kind of cuts into things at times. So it goes. Pulling open the notes, made a few notes about match results, so I didn't really go through and look things up too detailed from the last show. But what's important with that was the results of the main event. Dean Ambrose beating Bill Goldberg to become the new AEW heavyweight champion. In fact, I can go and open up Fire Promoter and show you, as opposed to just telling you about it. So yes, here we are in May of year 3, up to $5.5 million in assets. Holding steady with a B rating, but has to keep on moving up. It doesn't show you incremental stuff. There's no B+, B-, just a single letter. But I suspect we'll be getting to A sooner as opposed to later. Or maybe I'm being overly optimistic. We'll see. Not all of the popularity percentages, or letters, I should say, actually make sense, like ECW. But as I've noted before, I think that's more a symptom of the inability or inflexibility of being able to customize the different opposing companies. When you first set up Fire Promoter mode, I mean, I was able to get it work better than I expected, so I guess I can't complain too much about it. Dean Ambrose's win of the heavyweight title from Bill Goldberg was not the only title change on last month's show, as Barry Windham and Mike Awesome defeated Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to become the AEW heavyweight tag team champions. That also happens to open up both Omega and Jericho for potential championship opportunities. Go through the roster list to see who's healthy and who's not here momentarily. As I've noted before, the OBS studio really works well as far as allowing me to stream the game and be able to pull up things on my computer, notes or whatever, if I need to check email or something, and it's fine. Whereas when I was just almost like recording the screen with software for the YouTube videos that I posted, I used this program called Debut Video Capture. Worked pretty well, but you had to have the game actually up front for it to work properly. Alright, so you've got Ambrose, the new champion. He'd been in a lot of tag team matches. He and Pocket ended up making a pretty successful tag team. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at year 1 instead of year 3 on something I had written here. It's way off. But I was correct about the tag team stuff. Before winning the heavyweight championship on the most recent show, Ambrose beat Chris Jericho in a singles match. And that was by chance 1 month after Omega and Jericho had captured the tag team championship from Ambrose and his tag team partner Pac, also known as Neville previously in WWE and NXT. So going before that, though, he had to go back to August for an Ambrose singles match, and it was a loss. Dr. Death got him. He also lost to Kenny Omega in March of year 2, so he's come on strong as of late, though. Before I start contemplating matches, best to go through and take a look at how everybody's doing health-wise. Okay, Goldberg is going to be out for this show. Walter we have, and Walter's up to an A, which is good. I want Walter to win because I want to push him because he's cool. I mean, that guy's a unique wrestler. Got to see him in New Orleans last year. Technically Kenner, Louisiana, at the Pontchartrain Center. He doesn't make trips over to the U.S. very often, so I was glad to get to take advantage. Gran Guerrero is another one that's been like the A/B line for popularity. And where it says popularity, you got the 4 different regions or countries. America, the one that my organization is based in, is the first one, so that does make it kind of easy for me. Flyer, who went into a tournament and managed to steal Aero Lucha's heavyweight championship. He doesn't trust me very much, though. I probably should have been paying closer attention. Okay, the condition for everybody except for Goldberg thus far is fine. Cedric Alexander's back after a 1-month rest. Get back to a good condition. The junior heavyweight champion, YOSHI-HASHI, managed to get himself to a B in popularity for reasons I can't entirely explain, other than that he's working for a hot promotion. There you see Barry Windham up to an S ranking, the highest you can get. He is one half of the AEW Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, along with Mike Awesome, who we'll get to in a moment. Malenko also in normal mode. It's funny, for as many matches as he has lost over the past 10 months or so, he has that New Japan Heavyweight Championship. I don't have him defend it, but he just happened to keep losing, which I'm sure thrilled New Japan to no end. Not only do I have their belt, but the guy who's got it's been on a losing streak, by and large. Dr. Death looking good. Mike Awesome, the other half of the AEW Heavyweight Tag Team Champs, also listed in good condition. I guess Windham is normal condition. Awesome is in good. Both of those are acceptable to me. This is poor. I try to avoid it unless there's a really good reason to, and obviously if they're in the hospital, I'm not going to wheel them out against doctor's orders and put them in the ring. Not that that's an option, but okay, Gordy in A. Normal condition. Good condition for T-Hawk. Almost afraid of T-Hawk getting lost in the shuffle. He was a pretty key contributor early for me. His salary, I can't complain too much about that. He was only making $1,100. Yilong, I don't know. I just don't know. But, I mean, he's been here long enough that he's learned to work King's Road style. Same being true for CIMA. Just looks awfully beaten up. Multiple potential areas of concern for injuries. Cody has fallen down to sea level. That's not good. And there you have the AEW Heavyweight Champion Dean Ambrose, up to an S in popularity. And again, thank goodness for the cough button. So an S ranking for my champion Ambrose, my heavyweight champion. Pac, I'm going to have to take that under advisement on whether to book him on this show with a double red. His neck area and his chest. Got those Will Ospreay ribs. And here's Chris Jericho. Jericho is the ECW heavyweight champion. So I continue to collect belts. Actually, I'm going to check something with... Let's open the wrong notepad. Little gimmick here on my computer. Let's see. Jericho... Well, I can't really justify a Jericho title shot because Ambrose beat him when they wrestled before. But on the other side of things, Jericho never has received a return match after losing the heavyweight championship to Gordy back in November. And then you have Kenny Omega. Omega listed in good condition. But it's been a tough last couple of weeks for Omega. In March, he lost the heavyweight championship to Goldberg, and then on the last show, Omega's co-holder of the heavyweight tag team championship with Chris Jericho ended up losing that to Mike Awesome and Barry Windham. So that's what I'm looking at here. Now, I haven't made any attempts at hiring anyone just yet. Certainly not offering a contract just yet. Well, I can get both the clowns potentially. I wanted to completely blow my pay scale sky high between Psycho Clown and Murder Clown. Really want to get some junior heavyweights in here. Enzo. Alright, Pillman's down to 26-27. I may just try use another invite on him. He's come in twice with an invite and lost both times. Sammy Guevara, that money. 4,700 for D popularity. That just isn't going to work. And hey, all pro wrestling stuff aside, how great is it that Roman Reigns, that Joe the person has managed to come back from leukemia? And that claimed the life of my grandfather on my mom's side. He was in his mid-80s at that point. Leukemia has different forms, I know, but point is that I know that it can be fatal, and I'm glad that Roman Reigns, Joe, has been able to Send it back into remission where hopefully it will stay for him. Marco's Stunt. Really good price if I can get him to sign. I think I tried before. Douglas still wants way too much money, and I got what I wanted from him already with the ECW heavyweight belt. AEW signing Arn Anderson. Give that a couple of weeks. Gonna have to go for a junior heavyweight though. I've not had much luck on getting anybody to sign. See if we can change that here. Very heavyweight laden free agency market in Latin America. I mean, Fuego and Astral and Audez. But they've not particularly seemed keen on coming to work for me. Too much money, too much money. Riddle's getting close money-wise. Although, again, that's just me more wanting to have Riddle on the roster because he's a tremendous pro wrestler versus what he would actually provide tactically. Salary, you put him up at the very high end. Liger's still way too much. Kino. I've seen the name written over and over years and years in the Observer, but that doesn't come with a pronouncer. So if anybody wants to help fill me in on the proper pronunciation, be my guest. But as a heavyweight, for now it's rather immaterial. I want to think I offered Sato and he said no. So let's see. There is Stoic with All Japan, the way I set it up in this game. I don't see many Stoics out there. He's a junior heavyweight. Okay, I'm not on a screen where I can offer contracts. I'm just looking at the wrestlers. Everybody there's making 10,000 plus for all of them, except for Matt Jackson. Now maybe I could poach him. Nick Jackson's still stuck in the land of the the free agent queue. He's stuck in the green room. My scouts aren't exactly adept enough to find him. Maybe I should send scouts looking in America for showmen and see if that's what. So WWE won't be happy with me over this, but that's okay. Okay, let me go back. Oh, he does have an S Trust. I guess video game Vince McMahon managed to tap back into his persuasiveness bag. All these stories from back in like the 80s and even the 90s about guys that would be livid with Vince McMahon, just completely fed up, and probably with good reason. And they go in there to give him a piece of their mind, and by the time they were done talking, he got bamboozled one after another. Vince had the way, as it was said, to take somebody from being mad to, before they knew it, boom, 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 he's either making promises or saying the right things, somehow reading the situation correctly. Although I don't think the fire promoter mode goes quite that deep into things as far as that goes. Marco Stunt. All right. We're seeing a photo of Marco Stunt's chest after a match he had with Brian Alvarez. And it was just like, it looked like he'd been in the ring with like Marufuji, somebody with those vicious chops. It's like, come on guys, this is supposed to be a work. Those chops, man. Okay, 20 grand. Marco Stunt, your salary is listed as $800. You're not currently working for a company. I hope you take this. So, that didn't work out. And we'll move on. So, alright, let's see. Be a good idea to get a idea of how many wrestlers I have healthy and able to work on this show. $18. So that's very good. You know, if I brought in 2 invites, I could make this my first ever 10-match show. It was all singles matches. And if one of the invites no-shows on me, then so be it. Then I'll only have 9 matches. So we'll go event, invite. See if Pillman's interested in working for us for a 3rd time. Alright, so we have Pillman. That gets us to 19 wrestlers, 18 roster guys. 1 invite, 1 to go. Stan Hansen would be fun to bring in. He's a showman. Just kind of a strange listing for him. I would think stoic, strong, King's Road. But I suppose the game does the best it can to come up with whatever constitutes match style for a given wrestler. So bring in Arn, who's an A popularity. Look, and I've got to try here for Stan Hansen. S popularity at that money wise. Now, if he says no, I think they still take that. Let's see. My expenses right now are 52 grand. We'll double check this to be. Okay, yeah. So just to invite, here would be close to 10 grand, but he's an S popularity. And I've got north of $5.5 million in assets. And we got Stan Hansen. How about that? Very good. That gets us to 20 wrestlers that can work the show, provided that everybody shows up. So we've got Stan Hansen, the showman style, Brian Pillman, strong style, showman I've got with a couple of guys. Awesome. Was it Windham? Oh, Windham's finally gone full King's Road. Finally bought in. Which actually is the idea. But I can use Mike Awesome. The downside with that, of course, is that if let's see. So Awesome's a tag team champion, so it's not like he'll lose the belt if it's a singles match he loses. Yeah, most of these guys have gone over to King's Road. Mike Awesome still new enough that he's showman still at this point. Flyer still is a lucha guy. Well, the lucha guys don't seem to like to work from away, even though I would put them in a lucha match. Guess not. The only risk if I don't have it is Hansen versus Pillman. And there's nearly a 100-pound weight differential there. But if they both were to cancel and I had them in singles matches with guys on my roster, then I would end up losing 2 matches instead of 1. But that's a chance I just might have to take. Like a few small repairs. I'll hold off for now on upgrading the lounge. Okay, I was looking right past it. Scouts. Okay. Okay, these top 3 are actually all out right now. Okay, well, of course, you know King's Road, then go look for King's Road. Or maybe I try... We prefer Japan or America? Stick with America. We'll go 2 months. I still don't exactly know why it says make offer like that. They seem to never say no. So we'll have 2 reports from Latin America coming back after this month. One from somebody that actually prefers lucha and prefers Latin America, and one from a guy with nothing but question marks. So we'll, yes, the scouts, singular, on the lookout. Did the busy work of the training center. Merchandise going very strong. T-shirts run at 10,000. Sold about 2/3 of them. All right, towels. We'll go 10,000 on the towels. Go more conservative with the photo collection. Go 3,000. Action figure will stick with just 1,000. Goods. $5,000 of the goods. Mask will go smallest quantity there with 1,000. And also smallest quantity for the branded snacks. Although actually I probably should have waited, actually set my card and then go back through and consider this, but too late now. Should have, if I counted correctly, should have 20 wrestlers healthy and able to work the show. That's going to be 10 singles matches. The newly minted AEW heavyweight champion Dean Ambrose will be making his first title defense. And obviously it's not going to be against an outsider. Hadn't even really expected Ambrose to gain an opportunity to challenge for the heavyweight championship. But then he beat Chris Jericho when I set him up. I was mostly thinking just Jericho was going to beat him, but that's not what happened. Ambrose, Moxley would not be denied. Let's see. Okay, well, forget looking at past stats. So we'll go with looking at guys in S condition, or S popularity. Windham is a strong possibility. I know he just won Tag Team Championship on the last show. That was against Omega and Jericho, so really everything to do with Ambrose. I'm not doing any tag team matches tonight, just going for that first ever for my Fire Promoter game 10 card event. We just had Omega as a double champion, so why not? Let's see. Let's see, Barry Windham. Before I start assigning any other matches, let me take a look at Cedric Alexander. I'll have him defend his AEW Junior Heavyweight Championship. I may have Cedric go against T-Hawk. I mean, Shima's an A, so maybe that's the better play. Let's see, do I have any other guys left that are on S level popularity that are healthy? Okay, Windham's already working the main event. Well, I do have Omega. You got Jericho. And you got Neville. They're just hiding down there at the bottom. So I'll have a junior heavyweight championship defense on this show. It just won't be this high up on the card. And I know that I could use Pac as a junior heavyweight challenger. He's got an S rating, but I've done Cedric versus Pac a bunch. I actually want to think of trying something a little different. Cedric and Pac just had a match a couple of shows ago anyway. Cedric came in as the champion and beat Pac. Says something about Pac's popularity. He's up to an S rating, even though he lost against Cedric in that match. Cedric beat Pillman when I brought Pillman in the first time. So between these three, I'll probably have Pac go against one of these two. I think what I'll do for the semi-main event will be Chris Jericho against Pac. I prefer the meaner looking Pac. Like the later run WWE Cruiserweight Champion / Full Gear at AEW's Jacksonville big announcement show. Alright, so we have 2 of the 3 S's used in the semi-main. Kenny Omega is the 3rd. I'll put him in this 8th out of 10 spots. That's where best bout machine will go as far as who he takes on. Well, I did forget about Stan Hansen being an S rating. I was thinking it was an A. That's Pillman's the A. That's, I guess, really why I wanted to get Hansen to begin with. Awesome's an A. It doesn't have to be S versus S anyway. Plus, if Hansen wins, then that doesn't help me all that much. So maybe I'll still do... Yeah, I'll do Stan Hansen against Mike Awesome. So now I have to find somebody for Omega. I suppose Gordy is a possibility. Although Omega beat Gordy twice. And it was Jericho that lost to Gordy but never got another chance at a championship opportunity. So the switch I might make here will be to swap out Neville and Pac. And go Terry Gordy. Although, I don't know. I think this through. If I switch that, if I make it Pac going up against, or be, I'm really trying to find who Gordy would go against between the two, and it would be, I mean, there's just not good reason to have it be Gordy and Omega Part 3, because Omega won twice. That was December of year 2 and then January of this year, so just 4 or 5 months ago for both matches. Although it doesn't even have to be. I can always use Gordy in another spot. I'll do Gordy Jericho somewhere else on the card. Omega's an S. Fresh matchup there. So here's where I've got Stan Hansen as an S. Of course, ignoring Goldberg being in poor condition on this show. Walter as an S. Or an A, I should say. Walter is an A. Cedric's already spoken for later with the championship match. B for YOSHI-HASHI. B for Malenko. A for Dr. Death. A is for Awesome. Terry Bam Bam Gordy A. T-Hawk, gonna have him going up against either him or CIMA going up against Cedric. Actually, no, I decided against that because Cedric defended against CIMA in January, so it'll be T-Hawk with a championship opportunity. A little further down the card. Okay. I wonder if Walter versus Stan Hansen would actually be more fun than having either Awesome or Gordy against him. Trying to decide as far as go with Hansen. It's probably just going to be a one-off with him. But I do want to take advantage. I already have Awesome as one half of the tag team champions. I've already had a Williams versus Awesome match. Could make it Williams, or I should say, I guess I could do Williams or Gordy if I wanted. Gordy 297. Same for Awesome. Not far behind for Dr. Death. Walter at 310. Hansen at 321. So it'll be Hansen against Walter. That's the decision I'm going with. Of course, we still have Pillman here. Although with Hansen, I was going to look for a showman. And that's why it was going to be Awesome. So you know what? Okay. Change of plans. Walter versus Hansen would have been fun, but hopefully this will entice Stan Hansen to show up. There's Mike Awesome. Giving up 30 pounds, but he can handle it. Only have the one outfit, so I may go with the Stan Hansen alternate. Well, that's not the Stan Hansen alternate. That's Goldberg. Oh, that's why. And for who, I don't know who the creator wrestler or whoever the author was in this creator wrestler. The third one is like Hansen in like this like a corset, like this women's outfit. Like, what's up with that? I mean, do what you want. Love your life, live your life, but why are you doing that to Stan Hansen? So we'll put Hansen in the cowboy boots and the navy blue as opposed to black, so there's some differentiation color-wise between Awesome and Hansen with their gear. Of course, this is going to be the match I go from King's Road to Showman. All right. So what I may do here is go with, because I don't think I've had Walter against Gordy. Gordy's not been around all that long. So we'll put Walter there. Okay, going through again. There's Williams. There's Gordy. There's CIMA as an A. All right, so it'll be Walter against Terry Gordy. 4 matches down, 6 to go. I forgot about Jericho, who was hiding down there. Well, guess what, Jericho? You're going to go here. And Jericho in the main event slot for all those title defenses in a row. He made 6 successful defenses, and that doesn't include him winning the belt. And really since then, it's been a hot potato. That could be fun. Pillman against Jericho. And let's see, for guys with A ratings, I'll have CIMA and Dr. Death. Alexander, who's already spoken for with T-Hawk. And Goldberg is not healthy enough to work this show. So guess what, CIMA? You get Dr. Death. It's pro wrestling, so you never know for sure. So, a Jericho and Pillman special attraction match. matches and drive me crazy if I don't switch these. I wish it was easier to just switch the order. But it actually makes sense to have Gordy and Walter. And then, like, not a buffer match, but a different type of match. And then go into its, let's say, showman match, but it's still Stan the Lariat Hansen against Mike Awesome. So, okay, I've got to flip it. Yes, I will. Alright. Gordy, Walter, move up, move down. Pillman and Jericho will move up. Got Jericho and Pillman back in with a green trim for Walter. And we'll give Gordy the red. Should be able to tell those two apart. Okay, I feel better about that. Especially with Jericho having the S rating. That just makes more sense. This is lined up to be a pretty good show, I must say. And this may be where I go with the other championship match of the night. Cedric defending against T-Hawk. You can see the list of potential contenders is not exactly overflowing. And I realize CIMA's an A, but CIMA has a recent pinfall loss and a challenge for the championship against Cedric, which means back of the line for the moment, although it's going to be interesting to see how that CIMA versus Dr. Death match goes. The guys I have left after that: Gran, Guerrero, Flyer, YOSHI-HASHI, Dean, Malenko, and then here's where we're going to go with Dr. Death. Again, CIMA. Let's go with the regular red tights. Six wrestlers left and 3 matches to fill. Assume that counted correctly. So yeah, Gran, Flyer, Yoshi, Malenko, Yilong, Cody, Rhodes. And guys, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. With you two being the 2 guys I have with a C popularity, you're going to be in the opener, like the curtain jerkers, they would call it back in the day, opening up the show. So, a B for Gran, a B for Flyer, a B for YOSHI-HASHI, and a B for the shooter Dean Malenko. Between those 4, I'll have to find 2 matches, or decide on 2 matches, singles matches, put in the 2nd and 3rd spots. Trying to look through some old results to see how our opponents that YOSHI-HASHI has had. I don't know that I've ever had a YOSHI-HASHI versus Gran Guerrero match, although I guess I could be wrong. We're going to have ourselves a Malenko versus Guerrero classic. Dean Malenko and Gran Guerrero. And no, the New Japan Heavyweight Championship belt that Malenko has will not be on the line here. So I felt pretty good so far about just collecting the titles from other companies, but actually defending them in my company. Unless I find out that's going to help pack the house even more. In which case I may have to have a change of heart. So, by process of elimination, we get Flyer against YOSHI-HASHI. That guy needs to turn heel in the worst way. I just can't take him seriously. And he's supposed to be in the prime drawing age range of his career, between 35 and 40. I mean, he's not bad in the ring. For his sake, I just hope he can hit his perpetually taped up shoulder to finally heal up. Shoulder injuries are no joke. This last match, of course, will be the two Popularity C wrestlers, with buddy Cody Rhodes taking on Yilong. And those Cody little short videos, those 7-8 minute videos that they've put out for AEW on a weekly basis on YouTube, elsewhere, maybe on Twitter. Point is, they've done a really good job with them. I'm very impressed. And I like that they brought in a different dog on this past episode, Monterey Jack. And that's with all love for Pharaoh. I mean, you know, I love dogs, so you know you're gonna have a tough time going wrong. But just laughing to myself thinking, do a first ever AEW Dog Championship, Pharaoh versus Monty, or maybe not. So okay, all 10 matches booked. Now I'll go through. Okay, yes, I did put the junior heavyweight title match there at number 5, making sure I didn't forget to put the championship match in there. And of course, you always have to go through and double check before you hit the confirm match card button. It doesn't ask you if you're sure, it just boom locks it in. Most of these will be as they were, 30-minute time limit, Kings Road. And this is a heavy or junior heavyweight championship match, but I will still keep it at 30 minutes. We got 10 matches on this show. We don't want this to get as bloated as WrestleMania. Let's go 30-minute time limit for Walter against Gordy. 30 minutes, Jericho and Pillman. We'll see how a showman match gets over here. The match before the semi-main. Mike Awesome and the Lariat Stan Hansen. Hansen in on a one-off. I've really been leaning more toward a Hansen versus Barry Windham match, but Windham, over the past month, switched from showman to my company style of Kings Road. Luckily for me, Mike Awesome still has the showman designation, so I went with him there. That will be a 30-minute time limit as well. Semi-main event, Pac and Omega. And sticking with the 30-minute time limits. And the main event, you can tell this is my first 10 match card attempt because the time is listed as unlimited. This will be a 60-minute time limit, one fall. But they're all one fall, so. Okay, so we're configured. Everything's in order. We should be set. Okay, I already did the training center and produce merchandise, not produce. This isn't a grocery store. My scouts are out scouting, I hope. Okay, the stables I haven't done much with. I need to broker a contract. I've got the B popularity in America. They can come to me. They might have more in assets and more in money now, but we'll see how long that lasts. The only person I can send on excursion is Goldberg, who's in poor condition, so no. Plus, there's not any tournaments going on this month for me to potentially do a run-in and steal a championship belt out of. Certainly we'll save at this point. I knew I was forgetting something on the event. I didn't go through and double check on the attendance and ticket price and all that. Something I'll just have to remember for next time. Expenses at that's wishful thinking, $627,000 plus. This is the May event for year 3. Very happy when it goes to that screen, it doesn't give you the pop-up saying somebody is not happy with the style they're working or personal reasons can't show up or is otherwise missing my card. So we got a packed house, 2 titles on the line tonight, 10 matches in total. Debut in the promotion of Stan Hansen off an invite. Brian Pillman still not under contract, but here on his 3rd invite since the one scout that actually found something useful for me thus far made Brian Pillman appear out of thin air. He'll be taking on Chris Jericho later on this show. All right. I'm gonna skip the opener. Let's see if this goes 30 minutes and goes haywire like it was doing, or if they only did that for tag team matches. The stunner. Wow, Cody Rhodes is reeling. Yilong, I mean, to be frank, has been the least successful wrestler of any I've picked up. Close to 2.5 years of gameplay, but he gets the win there with a stunner. And Cody has some rethinking to do. Flyer versus YOSHI-HASHI. Skip. %. Flyer winning with the Super Hurricane Rana off the top. Hope Yoshi didn't land on his bad shoulder. Flyer gets the win. So really for the first time, as far back as I can remember in Fire Promoter mode, not off to a fast start or a strong start with the average card rating. 10 matches. I might at another time be tempted to watch, but I'm going to skip Dean Malenko and Gran Guerrero. Gran Guerrero, your winner. Only 79% of the match evaluation. Getting a little stiffsky with me there as far as rating my matches, but Malenko submits, and it's a victory for Guerrero. Go ahead and save, although it's not exactly a strong hand I'm holding onto there. Okay, I do want to watch this out of curiosity. Dr. Death, Steve Williams against CIMA. One fall, 30-minute time limit. Night one of the New Japan Cup starts in about a little less than an hour from the time that I'm recording this. On my wrestling website, TigerDriver.com, I wrote a preview about all 16 of the first round matches of the New Japan Cup. It's a 32-man single elimination tournament. The winner to receive a IWGP Heavyweight Championship shot against Switchblade Jay White in the main event of Supercard at Madison Square Garden the night before WrestleMania 35. Williams has been in control early. The power moves, the elbow drops, and now a military press. A long drop to the canvas for CIMA. Running elbow drop for Dr. Death. Then a right hand to the face. CIMA's got to get something going here. Forget that. A Dr. Bomb. A 2 count less than 4 minutes into the match. CIMA doesn't win the strike exchange. Another elbow drop by Dr. Death. And that for CIMA, having Williams running off the ropes, wear him out a bit would be ideal, but oh, you figure Williams is going for one of those German suplex, dragon suplex type moves with that rear grapple. Speaking of Tiger suplexes, the release Tiger suplex by Williams. CIMA with an arm drag, but CIMA just has no answer for any sort of a sustained response against what Williams has put out here in the first 6 minutes of this match. CIMA trying to get back into control with some mat-based submission moves. This is smart by CIMA. It provides him an opportunity to get his bearings back after getting just rattled early. Enzugiri finds the mark, but Dr. Death still so much better off at this point, although pinning predicament for a 2 count. That gets the crowd clapping for the first time in this match. Top rope senton from CIMA. Nobody there on the kick. Oklahoma Stampede. And just 1/10 of a count away from the victory. Williams now letting up a pile driver. And we get a ref bump. Dr. Death takes advantage of the momentary confusion with a running clothesline. Pinfall try, no ref to make the counter. Make the count, I should say. Although Dr. Death, it appears, would have been out of harm's way, ahead of any sort of a 3 count. I love it when you get a ref bump in this game, when the referees come up with the blood on their head, like they bladed while they were down. And CIMA might take flight. CIMA goes airborne. The plancha. But this is gonna hurt. Dr. Death slamming you on a mat's one thing, but on an unpadded floor, no thanks. Some right hands from Dr. Death. Crowd is picking up in noise as we approach the 12-minute mark of the match. The flip out of the corner by CIMA, but guess what? Dr. Death is ready. CIMA escapes again into another military press slam. Dr. Death gets a back elbow for his trouble, and another kick to the head by CIMA. Another strike exchange after an elbow from CIMA. Williams gets the better of that with a running shoulder block. Another pinfall attempt by CIMA. CIMA on a roll. Although you can tell some exhaustion starting to sit in there as well. Elbow to the back by Dr. Death. He's going to hit the ropes. Clothesline. CIMA back up. Blocks a shoulder tackle attempt by Williams. Not the easiest thing to do. A power slam by CIMA, but Dr. Death. Brainbuster style vertical suplex. We've passed 15 minutes in this match. One fall, 30-minute time limit. And a backdrop suplex. Might have just crushed CIMA. No, he escapes. Doctor bomb, but they're in the ropes, too close to the corner. CIMA catches a break, but he's got to take advantage. Kick to the head once again. And now it's Williams trying to buy a moment or two to breathe. It looked initially like it might be a runaway for Dr. Death. Another submission maneuver by CIMA, but they find themselves in the ropes. CIMA takes Williams for the ride. A basement drop kick. CIMA off the top rope. The double stomp to the back of Dr. Death. We've passed the 17-minute mark of the match. CIMA will walk over Williams. And a jawbreaker by Williams, and Dr. Death celebrates. Reversal by CIMA. And another tiger suplex out of Dr. Death. CIMA again lucky to be near the ropes. But could this do it? The third time he's tried this unique pinfall maneuver, and he gets him, CIMA. If you would have told me after the 6-minute mark that CIMA was going to win this match clean, I would have said highly unlikely. I would have been wrong. So CIMA. And it's a 100% rating. CIMA took a beating against a much larger opponent. The Samurai Driver 84. So now I know the name of that maneuver. 100% rating. And we certainly needed that. We still have a ways to go with the average card rating at 84%, but we're 4 matches into a 10-match show. First of 2 championship matches on the card coming up next. T-Hawk against Cedric Alexander. I'm going to go off headset here for a second. So we join this match. Cedric tries to hold on to this junior heavyweight championship belt that he has had a stranglehold on for the most part over the past 12 months or so. Back on headset. Moonsault try by T-Hawk. So you can't sleep, Mozzie? Yeah, I've drawn in, definitely. I hear you on that. And this could be the pinfall right here. And that'll do it. Cedric retains. Yeah, this is a fun game. This Fire Promoter, I mean, it has its flaws, but it offers a lot of fun options. 92% the match evaluation there, which is going to work for me. It'll bring us up at least somewhat. Title defense for Cedric. Coming up on 3 a.m. Nashville time right now. I'm a night owl anyway, though. That's because whether I'll get into a project and just zone in, and hours might fly by. And that way I'm not getting interrupted by emails or, oh, wish the game was for the Xbox. Yeah, it's a tough one with the Xbox One not having it. Although if it's any consolation, I own the game for both the computer, the PC through Steam, and I own it for the PS4. And I found the PS4 to be a frustrating experience in a few ways, including mods not working, slower load times, limits, etc., as far as total number of downloads, but mostly because of the mods. Still a very fun game, don't get me wrong. But between the two, I found and it's faster on my desktop computer as far as like loading things up. I got a computer with 16 gigs of memory, so it's not exactly a fair fight. But this isn't exactly a high-end machine either. It's just Acer that I bought last year. My other computer gave up the ghost. All right. As great as I'm sure that match would be, yeah, the load time, it's tough, isn't it? I mean, that's, especially if I'm recording that or streaming it. I did that a few times. And then you get the frustration where they stick that stupid copyright strip in the bottom left-hand corner. You know, as if they own the copyright to the unlicensed wrestlers that I downloaded that somebody else created, or, you know, my vision of what a ring should look like or a match or whatever. But it's their game, I get that. But it's just, it irked me for that to be on there, and it just defaults on there like that. So, for a number of reasons, I'm going with the Steam version, especially with this. My concern was that, okay, will it actually stream properly to Twitch from my Steam app? I don't know. Much for the old guy that can't figure out the new tech terms, but I had an account on Twitch here for a long time, and finally now getting to go with the streaming. So, yeah, I mean, the nice thing with this, like, these are all, you can put whoever you want to in there. It's, I mean, if they exist, if you can find them, and that, you can find thousands and thousands and thousands of downloadable creator wrestlers that some really talented people designed. That is not my strong suit. I had to do it for Superfire Pro X Wrestling Premium, Super NES, or I guess the Famicom, whatever officially was for, 1996. So I know how difficult it is, but yeah. Now, when you're setting up Fire Promoter mode, you have to be careful. You have everything set up how you want it before you start, because the user interface is not that friendly to begin with, and the inability to customize some stuff can be a little bit troublesome if you don't make some adjustments for it. Yeah, like, I'm not in a good spot to show you now as far as the rosters, but, you know, I've got some old school guys in there. We go with the new ones. I mean, you know, I've got, you know, just on this show alone, you got, David Arquette. Yeah, yep, there's a David Arquette. Yeah, I mean, it's just the generosity of the designers. It's not like the WWE 2K series, and, you know, props to 2K for having a successful business model, but I just didn't enjoy getting to the point of paying full retail or finding it for $10 off Black Friday, whatever, and then getting, you know, the double dinged back around, all the downloadable content, pay to unlock stuff that's just arbitrarily put behind a wall, and then do it all over again the next year, only take out half the wrestlers you want, who you liked from before, that sort of thing. Now, I'm not blaming 2K. They've got to deal with WWE approving things, and I can only imagine the nightmare that process can be. So I'm going to skip the Walter vs. Gordy. I'm sure it'll be fun to watch, but I do want to catch the beginning of the opening night of the New Japan Cup. If I'm already at past 3 a.m. Nashville time, I mean, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, right? So we're going to skip. While my TV's in on mute behind me there, but I'll fix that problem. Very good. 98%. Walter with a win over Gordy. I've been wanting Walter to get back on the winning streak. He had been slipping a bit and his popularity fell. So that should help. A 98% match valuation. Beating the former heavyweight champion Terry Bam Bam Gordy. But also thinking about like older wrestlers or WWF, WWE, WCW. Like, when you set your Fire Promoter game up, you have X number of free agents you put in, but it only gives you a percentage of those that are available. You have to send your scouts out to try and find the others. And so, like, Sting wasn't out there anywhere that I ever saw, and then one week New Japan just said, hey, we've signed Sting. And that's where I learned how scouts come into the game. I will watch this match. Match number 7 out of 10 on the card here. Chris Jericho and Brian Pillman. One fall 30-minute time limit. I'll go ahead and save right here, just to be on the safe side, and I'll go ahead and start the match. It really is amazing. I mean, to me, I knew that this sort of thing, there was a management of the ring mode and the Game Boy Advance version, but I never owned a Game Boy Advance, and so I never played the mode. But I'm playing this game going back more than 20 years. I don't get into just a whole lot of video games anymore. I guess it's what happens when you start to get older, but I still love Fire Pro. It's just like this, the fun factor. And then you add this on top of it. Now, I mean, again, I don't want to overhype Fire Promoter mode because it's not like a true sim. It's not Total Extreme Wrestling, which is a wonderful game for all the minutia and all the little tiny stuff. But it gets pretty close in a lot of ways. And I mean, Fire Pro's got that charm to begin with anyway. But I mean, the way it's set up for Fire Promoter mode, there is some sort of a workaround they've already figured out. Very smart people that I'm glad are smarter than me about computer stuff. Figure out ways to either mod or get around some of the limits they put in place, sometimes unnecessarily in this game. But if you're playing just vanilla style, you start with 6 wrestlers on your roster. That's what I did with this AEW company that I came up with. There's a lot more I want to try with this mode too, as far as in conjunction with mods. And I would think that there's something set up where you can make it where at least a given wrestler doesn't get pinned or submit. I think it's the amazing work that Carl Zilla has done with his mod pack, and others as well, but particularly him, that has made a lot of this possible. Yeah, I mean, the WWE games, there wasn't exactly a lot of... There was like a new coat of paint every year. And we'll throw in some extra characters, a one-off. The last one of the WWE 2K series I really enjoyed was the game in the process, like when the previous company that was making the games for WWE ran into some financial trouble, and the license ended up going over to the folks at 2K. But the WWE 13, as it was called, CM Punk was on the cover. PlayStation 3, I enjoyed that game, but like there were things you could do in the PS3 that Sony, for whatever reason, decided you couldn't do on a PS4, like MP3 files. Maybe there are workarounds some people have figured out, but without having to like risk breaking my system or whatever. Again, this is not my forte. It's stuff I just do so I can play games that I like. But yeah, there's a lot of repetitiveness that you'd run into. They would regress with the like career mode, but you know, like some of the best things, like in Here Comes the Pain for the PS2, which to me is still one of the best WWE/WWF games to come out, at least on a home system. And modes like that disappear. And there was one year, I forget which one it was, but it was when they were doing the brand split, I think the first time around. It was like Raw vs. SmackDown. And you would actually go head to head. As if, you know, it's like a make-believe version of what WWE should be doing, but won't, because their two brands are almost exactly identical because the same one micromanager is in charge of both of them. But it was fun because it would show you like how many wins in a row somebody had. You could keep track of that. And then next year was just gone. Yeah, I know some people have been happy with... I don't want to dump on 2K. I haven't played the latest game. But it's just... I mean, you know, finite amount of time to spend on video games, and they're a lot of fun. I've enjoyed them since I was a kid, but you know, I've given thought. I mean, there are those red box kiosks, right, renting movies or games, and maybe one weekend coming back from my girlfriend's apartment, I might decide to swing by one on the way home and try it out. But I'm enjoying Fire Pro right now, so. Code breaker from Jericho. And that'll do it. Well, this is working out pretty well for me on the Brian Pillman invites. 3 show invites and 3 victories for my guys. Jericho the winner. The 10:48 mark, so that certainly justifies him getting a championship match in the next show. I enjoyed the match. They didn't give me a very good match evaluation, though. That part's a bummer, but that was fun. That was for being like an 11-minute match. Card rating is at 86%, which is still well ahead of any sort of minimum threshold I need to reach. And still 3 matches to go. Goldberg was in poor condition, so I didn't book him on the show. The danger with him is sometimes those Goldberg matches will end up like 5 or 6 minutes. Let's see now. We got, yeah, okay. This is showman style as opposed to King's Road. Stan Hansen, who I brought in on an invite. An S rating. I was surprised he wasn't that expensive to get him, all things considered. And Mike Awesome's the former heavyweight champ. Although I can say that about several guys because the title's kind of been bouncing around a lot, but this should be fun. Okay, I just saved it. I couldn't remember if I had. Rather double check than not do it at all. So here we go. Mike Awesome and Stan the Lariat Hansen. Yeah, it really has been pathetic. And I mean, I don't know what kind of restrictions WWE puts into place. I've heard stories through the years, and I don't want to spread hearsay, but I just know that they are very much hands-on and not necessarily in a way that is beneficial to the product. But they've had modes that were like GM mode before. I mean, you can just do some sort of a modern twist on, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain from not long after the WWF name change to WWE. That might have been the first, maybe the second. I think Shut Your Mouth maybe been the first, the year before. And I thought Shut Your Mouth had a better Royal Rumble mode. Although Here Comes the Pain I thought was the superior game. Mike Awesome getting aggressive. Got Hansen sitting on the top turnbuckle not even a minute and a half into this one. But it really shouldn't be that difficult to put a legitimate GM mode into place. That would be fun. But whether that's just the decision 2K's decided not to go with, or that's something that WWE doesn't want the game, or whatever the reason is, I don't know. But it definitely hurts the game. But conversely, it does open up opportunities for other games that have, even this, is not truly a sim mode like TEW. But it's got a lot of sim elements, the sort of thing that would be nice to have in a WWE game. But I love the fact that New Japan Pro Wrestling has actual licensed content in a Fire Pro game. I mean, that's one of those things I always thought would be cool if something like that would happen, but I never anticipated it. And to the point where they even had an ad campaign, the way New Japan has a lot of advertising and sponsorship and presenter sponsors. They're in the ring or on the ring apron or in the corner. But they even had it set up the way it was when they had like the, parody is the right word, but the knockoff version of New Japan would be like View Japan, VIEW. And then they had that in real life, and it's like a rather surreal thing. Big clothesline from Hansen. Got some applause. The crowd has been kind of quiet so far. I guess Stan Hansen pointing at his bicep counts for showman mode. Kind of a strange bit of animation there. The lariat with a DDT in a second. If you want to watch some good Stan Hansen matches, go back and look up some like 1993, 94, 95, give or take a couple years before, maybe. All Japan Pro Wrestling. And really even before that, because he was there in the 80s with the late Bruiser Brody. Yeah, taunting definitely is part of it because you're trying to get the crowd fired up. Which is why I thought showman for Stan Hansen would be a little bit not out of character, but not what you would normally expect out of him. But it's part of what's needed for a match like this, and let him keep on posing. I'll be happy with it. Yeah, King Kong Bundy. It was sad to learn of his passing. Read a couple of obit pieces. Read the new Wrestling Observer newsletter with Dave Meltzer had. I need to go back and reread the rest of that. But things about it, I didn't realize that he had a hair versus hair match in Texas, and that's how he got the bald look that really worked for him. And it's too bad for people that only saw Bundy when he came back for that run in 1994. He lost a lot of his ability to, moving fast for a big guy, athleticism, but like it does to everybody, age caught up with him, and it wasn't quite the same by that point. Of course, it didn't help that WWE's creative was in a low spot then as well. And the crowd's getting into it now, approaching the 12-minute mark. 2 count there, and then awesome. There's a crowd celebration. That'll bump me up hopefully a couple of match evaluation percentage points. The big splash for the win. "30-minute time limit." Thus far, I've rarely seen matches I've actually watched that were singles match go 30. Big splash off the top by Awesome. Hansen escapes. Running Awesome Bomb, but too close to the corner. And Hansen answers with that big lariat. I love the whole thing of pulling away from the ropes. I think there's a couple extra seconds. Just enough time for Awesome to recover. Yeah, crowd's into it. Yeah, another taunt. I like it. You know Hansen's getting crazy with it. He's jumping off the top rope with an elbow. Yep, keep on posing. Past the 15-minute mark, another cover by Hansen. Got the crowd even more fired up. Snap suplex. Okay, this is going to be a bit much with Hansen coming off the top rope. Discus lariat. And a fourth elbow drop off the top rope from Stan Hansen. That's probably more than he's done in his entire career. Sleeper hold. Oh, an awesome kind of break right there. I could have done it. And that will do it. Good match. So Hansen comes in as the invite, the outsider, and beats my contracted guy Mike Awesome, but in 17 minutes, both with them working as showmen, 87%. And what a description of the finish. Stomping, parentheses, stomach. %86% for the average card rating at this point. And we're 8 matches into 10. As much as I would like to watch Neville or Pac against Omega, due to time constraints, I'm going to have to skip that match. Go to the championship match after that. And then the New Japan Cup night 1 will start here in less than 10 minutes. Well, that's disappointing. What, did I hurt your feelings because I skipped your match, guys? Come on. Yeah, I recommend it. The game's a lot of fun, especially if you can find it on sale. Fire Promoter Mode is downloadable content that costs $20. And that, I think, was a high price point. I didn't mind paying it. To me, I would have paid more than that. But the average person, especially with it not being fine-tuned to the user interface, having its frustrations at times, or causing those frustrations. All right, going to the main event now. We'll watch that. For the AEW Heavyweight Championship, one fall, 60-minute time limit. New champion Dean Ambrose, who won the title on the last show, makes his first defense. Taking on Barry Windham. This is the first matchup in this Fire Promoter game, or the save that I'm playing, between these two. I've had Ambrose since nearly the very beginning. He's the first street free agent I picked up, and then ended up bringing in Barry Windham as an invite, and then offering him a contract and finally getting it. Alright, so my New Japan stream is up and running on my secondary television. The way I've got things set up here, I've got my main TV downstairs here. My office is like my downstairs area. It works out for me. But I've got two televisions. One is like normally got sports, NFL draft stuff that I'm waist deep in hours a day this time of year. Part of what I do with my DraftKings NFL Draft website that I've been doing since 2003. But on the other TV, I've got my older desktop computer, the one that went kind of bonkers on me. What was wrong in there replaced. It's still an older machine, lacking in as much memory or as much power as the one I've got running this right now, but it works for streaming live video because unfortunately New Japan World is rather limited as far as the devices it works through. And I've got an Amazon Fire Stick and it works well through that, but nevertheless I've got it set up with an HDMI cord running directly from the computer right up to the TV. So I've got that there in the background, and police officer Jushin Liger and Ryusuke Taguchi acting like a boorish fan. Anyway, in this one, Windham has been one of those guys that's been kind of hot and cold. I brought him into the promotion, and he lost the first 3 matches he was in. Now, one was a tag match, but lost to Jericho, lost to Goldberg. Then he went on a winning streak. Windham beat Juice Robinson in June a year or two, Malenko in July, Carl Anderson in August. He lost to Barrington Hughes, super heavyweight out of MLW, brought in as an invite. Then he turned it around. Yeah, Benoit. You can download Benoit if you want to from the Steam Workshop. I've got a few downloads of them. I don't use Benoit for any of my games. And I saw him, I was ringside to see Benoit versus Jushin Liger at Starrcade 95. He was one of my favorites, but you know, the guy killed his wife and his son, and I just can't reconcile that with anything entertaining. So I don't use him. But it's in there. And it's certainly something if you want to download. I mean, I will from time to time if I'm not playing some online, just do a Benoit versus Angle match just for the hell of it, you know. They had so many good matches, but it's not somebody that I plan on, not a character I plan on using in any games or anything online. There's enough negativity in the world without bringing up some of the pain that caused. Only a 1 count to approach the 10-minute mark. This Ambrose creator wrestler tends to go longer with his matches. He had a time limit draw, a 30-minute time limit draw with Cody Rhodes. And that's like for a match that I actually sat and watched all the way through. They almost never go. Was that an Olympic slam? Fisherman suplex. But after losing to Barrington Hughes, Wyndham's won 4 of his last 5. Beat Dr. Death, beat Mike Awesome. He did lose to Goldberg, but then he rallied in February of this year 3. Beat Walter. And in March he beat Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Barry Windham busted open. I grew up watching Memphis Territory Wrestling here in the Nashville market. Ambrose to retain, and a 2 count only. A ref bump. I think I got the same ref that I have for every match. He took a ref bump earlier. Nice timing on this for once. The ref's down. Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds. There are a lot of little things with this game, with Fire Pro, that I've loved for a long time. Like when somebody gets busted open, not only is it their forehead, but like their chest too. I find it a little amusing things. Like when somebody gets a low blow, a shot to the gonads, you get the bell sound. An experience that I know firsthand is not particularly fun, and yet they make me laugh with it. Windham hits a pile driver. I thought he might be a little woozy there before, but he's getting some sustained offense put together. Look at the technical skill from Ambrose, and that'll do it. Dean Ambrose retains the AEW Heavyweight Championship by submission. A figure four leg lock on Barry Windham, laying face down in a pool of his own blood. Get a doctor to ringside, please. So that will be 89% the main event. Overall, one of my lower match evaluation shows in some time. I mean, it's not like I tanked it or anything. It should still be the high 80s. 84%, mid 80s. But that's still well above any sort of minimum threshold that I had with any advertisers. Things like that. So that's going to end the event. And perhaps most importantly, it was a full house, 40,000 people. Mike Awesome. He had an injury before that cost him, I think, 3 months. So he's out again. He'll need 2 months to recover. Strong style's not for the weak of heart. And there gets some like Stan Hansen roughing you up. Well, I could have drawn 50,000 plus. Yeah, we're ready to book a bigger venues, right? So let's look at the great success note. And the timing works out well. Look over at my television set, and it's got the pre-show intro video for the New Japan Cup. So I'm going to watch a little bit of that before I hopefully tap out to sleep. We go through some of the title changes that happened over the last month here. Remain steady with the monthly balance. The net, after you take expenses into account, more than $500,000, moving me above the $6 million mark asset-wise. Still well behind WWE and most of the companies, even second, third, fourth place money-wise. So the way the game doesn't start you out with very much, but that's part of the challenge. You got to try and build and do so in a reasonable manner business-wise. Okay, a singles tournament with WWE, and that is weird translation code for WWE's got a title tournament. I can send a wrestler over there, and there's a chance that wrestler's going to win their title, and they're not going to ever give you match results or tell you who they beat. They'll just tell you that's what happened. They'll show up with the belt. Okay, so this is going to do it for me here. I think Bullet Club's making their way to ringside in the opener on the opening night of the New Japan Cup at Korakuen Hall. Steve retired? Dr. Death? Say it ain't so. But yeah, I picked up on that, yeah. Brutal. Oh for 3. Do I need to put better facilities in to lure in new free agents? Oh, hey. Looking over and seeing Taiji Ishimori and the multi-man tag opener on that New Japan show airing live right now on World. Heard it's going to be Ishimori versus Dragon Lee versus Bandito at Madison Square Garden. I don't like three-way matches in general. I think they're way overdone. It promotes laziness in booking. It's bad on many levels. However, in this case, I'll make an exception because those three guys are all tremendously talented. Now, I've seen Ishimori wrestle live. I've seen Dragon Lee wrestle live. Bandito, I hope to sometime soon. So I guess Rocky Romero's not on play or on color commentary, at least initially. He's working the opener. Mikey Nichols, who was most recently Nick Miller in NXT. And Will Ospreay, one of the most talented wrestlers in the world, especially considering his age. Okay, promotion was still at B level. Because Dr. Death retired, I lost a roster, or I lost a wrestler. I didn't lose the spot, luckily. But now I've got 3 to fill up. Fortunately, he didn't have any title belts. That trip I sent him to a WWE that was supposed to be a tag tournament, but they wouldn't take anybody else and just kind of came back and didn't really explain it like it was a TNA plot line. I'm not going to offer a contract yet. This I'll deal with when maybe Sunday night, maybe Monday. I'm not sure the next time I'll have an opportunity to play another month of this. I'll be wanting to play, but you know how it goes in real life. You have to do things that, or put off things that you want to do until later. Well, you always want what you can't have. Truism. Okay, real quick, I'm going to take a look at the health condition of my now 18-man roster. Okay, they're in the multi-man tag. They're setting up Ospreay and Bad Luck Fale for their opening round match in the Cup coming up. I love the way New Japan does that with their booking, with the multi-man tags that actually build to something, aren't just randomly thrown together on television. Okay, Malenko and Pod. Yeah, I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing here. So Windham is in poor condition, so is Malenko. Mike Awesome won't be defending the tag team championship the next couple of months. Have to have some flexibility on him. As far as I'm not going to strip them of the titles because he's hospitalized. All right, Bam Bam up to go over losing Dr. Death from the ranks. Sorry, pal. T-Hawk's normal. Yilong is good. Shima's in poor condition after taking a bit of a beating. Cody losing to Yilong. Or to, it wasn't Yilong he lost to, was it? Yeah, it was. Oh. Ambrose remaining my AEW heavyweight champion. Pac, they're normal. Go back and look at the condition. Jericho in good condition. And Kenny Omega rounds things out in good condition. So all things considered, I feel pretty happy about where my company is at. See, $6 million in assets for me. WWE holding pat at 103. $62 million for New Japan. Close to $36 million for CMLL. $21 million All Japan. ECW 7.7. AAA below me at 4.8. And Aero Lucha. They're not doing too good, are they? I almost feel bad about having their heavyweight championship belt. Almost. And with that, I think that's going to do it for the feed tonight. Appreciate y'all watching. Still getting the hang of this whole streaming thing. But I've done enough sports broadcasting through the years that once I get the technical stuff figured out, and that for the most part I have, then we should be good. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.